Good morning, my creative community. How are we all feeling today? I have a few disclaimers. Number one, I am 3 minutes late for this live because I was meditating. I'm very proud of myself. I find this a really hard habit to build. But yeah, so I was taking out a cheeky 20 minutes for myself and was enjoying it so much I overran because I am charging the battery. I am charging the energy banks for tomorrow. It's our 3-day design challenge. I'm so excited. It is May's 3-day design challenge. As always, my friends, I am so excited for this month's brief. Cannot wait to share it with you. Really, really, really looking forward to this. As I briefly touched upon last week, this is going to be the last 3-day design challenge. It's a bit all over the place for the end of the year, I am going to admit that. We're then going to have it in July, and then we're going to have it in October, and then that's it for the rest of 2021. I started the 3-day design challenge back in February when we were in the midst of a lockdown, where we all needed creative escape, where I personally needed human connection, and the creative community blew me away. It has been one of the most magical, sincere, authentic experiences I've had the pleasure of leading. You have all engaged so amazingly. You've all blown my socks off with your natural talents and creativity. But that doesn't mean I'm stopping it. The world is opening up again, and in a time when we needed it, I'm now just going to pare back a little. So we're going to be doing it quarterly from now on, my friends. But before we do a little sob story, we got May Design Challenge tomorrow. So I am so excited. If you haven't already, come and join us. There's still prizes to be won. So head over to digitalpatternlibrary.com/design-challenge. Is anybody else impressed with all of the website URLs I remember stored in my noggin? I'm impressed with myself. Second disclaimer, excuse the bloody state on these. I am so sorry that you are subject to have to look at them. I will get them sorted and fixed. I can only apologise. At least they're Digital Pattern Library colours. So today, my friends, is going to be a quick one. Short and sweet, just how I like it. We are going to talk about a couple of pattern cutting tools that I have in my fashion studio. You're going to be able to see these here. Look at the state on this. Look how dirty this quarter scale block pattern is. Look how much I use that. I carry these around with me in my, let's close it so you don't see anything personal, in my diary, in my journal. I carry them in the back pocket here. And so I can always play around with them, always get my skills on the go, always have fun with like dart manipulation techniques, or maybe I have a design idea and then I whip these out of my diary and I start playing around with how I think that's going to translate into a pattern. So these are my quarter scale pattern blocks. They are available to all of my members in the DPL Atelier. These are actually backed onto Manila Card. So let me just quickly touch upon on this card here. Now, this is a smooth finish surface. My big full-scale, full-size patterns are also on Manila Card. If I create a block, which is a basic foundation blueprint of a garment, so this would be a basic bodice with front darts, bodice front with darts, and this is a basic sleeve, meaning that there's not any fancy design elements to it. This really is the foundations and the building blocks of more elaborate designs. But the fit might be good on a full-size garment, or I might have liked the proportion of a raglan sleeve. I've got a few blocks in my studio of coats that have raglan sleeves that I just know have a really nice, beautiful fit. Therefore, I transfer them onto Manila Card. And it makes for a much sturdier copy. If you just have paper patterns floating around, I'm sure all of you are familiar with rips, tears, damage, loss, water damage. I've spilt one too many a cup of tea in my studio. Backing your patterns onto card is a really good, durable way, pardon me, to make them last longer. But again, the benefit of us being Digital Pattern Library is you should also have a hard drive backup copy of all your patterns. So if you do lose them or anything like that, then you've got them stored on the cloud or wherever you store them. So Manila Card has a really smooth, hard finish, which is perfect for marking or notching when you're drafting your patterns. So when I trace around these with a pencil, It's slightly thicker. I don't know if that's going to focus. It's slightly thicker than a bit of paper. So my pencil will go along that line nice and smoothly. I'm not drawing along it and accidentally coming in, or drawing around the side of it and accidentally pulling away from the pattern. It's nice and accurate when I want to trace and adapt my pattern blocks. But yeah, as I say, simply using paper patterns exposes you to the risk of tears, damage. Plus, depending how you store them, you might need to be ironing your paper patterns as well. If you fold them up and you store them away, you're going to have to iron them every time you come to use them. Just for accuracy, just for like millimeter precision, if you think of a crease or a little dink in your paper pattern, that's obviously going to affect the size and fitting if you cut that out without ironing it. Obviously, Manila Card, a hard copy block, is totally efficient and can speed up the drafting process for any budding fashion designer. So yeah, as I say, I've printed these off and I've backed them onto Manila Card. If you have full scale patterns, you could print those off and back them onto Manila Card as well. Especially, I know loads of you out there make multiples of everything. I've seen so many people make the belted sweater in multiple colours. If it's a pattern that you use time and time again, it is worthwhile investing in a little bit of Manila Card. So I get mine from William G, UK, I believe. So yeah, I get mine as a wholesale, as a big roll, but I'm sure I've seen it on Amazon. You can get obviously smaller quantities. Just have a little look into that. Really, really good kind of thing to add to your fashion studio stocks. So moving on then, we got two more little tools that I'm going to show you. The first is, and they are so satisfying. These are my notches, guys. This is... Once you get yourself a pair of these, I'm telling you now, you're going to thank me and you're going to want to go around notching everything. This is probably one of the most satisfying tools I own. So if you get your paws on a pair, trust me, they're addictive. This little tool is a really, really handy addition to any kind of studio or sewing kit or pattern drafting kit. It makes a really clear mark on both your patterns and your fabric, saving time when you come to construct your garments. So let me just show you here, notch mark by there. If I use the notches, I just slot it in here like so, and you just punch it, and then it leaves us with a little notch like this. Again, that can work on fabric as well. Really, really useful. We're not taking big triangles out of the pattern pieces or out of our fabric. The problem you have if you do notch your fabric literally with a triangle like this is when you come to sew over it. I think I touched upon this last week in the clip or notch tutorial. When you come to sew them, if you cut out a massive triangle to notch your fabric, you might end up sewing into the triangle, leaving a little hole in your seam line. I hope that makes sense with my terrible finger demonstration. Whereas these notches, I mean, even if I push them right in, I think that's about 1/2 centimetre, you know? So it's not going to go too far into your fabric. And then again, once you draw around your pattern pieces with pencil, your pencil just kind of slots into there quickly. And then you've got your notches to line up your pattern pieces, because obviously notches are markers on our patterns. Look at me now, I'm getting really excited with this. Notches work as markers on our pattern pieces. So think about piecing them together like a big puzzle or a big jigsaw, okay? The notches help us line up our pattern pieces when we come to sew. So they really are important balance points and everything on your pattern pieces. And if you do struggle with snipping the right amount on your fabric, then a pair of notches, I cannot tell you how much these are. I've had them in my stocks for years, but I doubt they're that expensive. Oh my God. I doubt they're that expensive. But yes, really, really fun little tool, really efficient, nifty, and just makes the process that tiny bit more enjoyable. So for fabric, yeah, it's just a really great way to control your snips. It'll ensure that you don't cut too far into your work. We've all been there, we really have. And I just advise to get them. I just really like them. So finally then, my friends, I'm going to show you my awl. So this little pointy implement is another tool in my kit used for marking holes or making holes in my patterns to mark things. So whether that is your bust point by here, or it could be darts, or it could be pocket placements, buttons, buttonholes, you perforate your pattern with this, and it's often then referred to as a drill hole. So if I do this here on my quarter scale pattern block, be very careful. I'm making sure that my fingers are completely out of the way. But what I just do with my little awl is I'd punch it through like that, okay? And I'd run it back and forth a couple of times just to kind of make sure that this hole is clear. And then this is allowing me to mark my bust point. I'm actually really pleased I've just done this on my quarter scale pattern block. I don't know why I've not done it earlier, because when I've come to do dart manipulation using this, I've always had to kind of mark on the bust point manually. So again, a perfect example, and all just kind of makes your mark placement so much easier on your pattern. I also find it a nifty tool if you didn't want to, or if you didn't want to punch a hole, you can use an awl just to pivot your work. So if we do touch upon dart manipulation, you can pop your awl into your work and you can pivot it like so. But yeah, main use of this is to perforate holes into your pattern, allowing us to make marks on our work a lot easier. Don't tend to use this on fabric. You obviously wouldn't want to perforate or damage your fabric. This is just in relation, unlike the notches which have a dual use, the awl is just in relation to your pattern pieces. So 3 little notions that are involved in my fashion kit, I guess. I really hope that you enjoyed this short and sweet tutorial. Let me know if you're going to equip yourself with either of these. Again, be warned, addictive. You'll go around notching everything in sight. Tomorrow then, my friends, May's 3-day design challenge. It is the last 3-day design challenge for a little while. There's still loads of prizes to be won. There's still an amazing design brief to get our paws on and get our teeth sunk into. And then we're going to take June off, okay? But what that allows me to do, which is even more exciting, is it allows me a little bit more time to secure some even more amazing prizes. And let me tell you, without putting any spoilers out there, my friends, I am in talks with some rather exciting companies. As always, I wish I could win these prizes myself, but I can't, and I love giving back to my creative community. So this is putting a big old smile on my face at knowing what's in store and what I can bring to you. To say a big thank you, to reward you for always being involved and engaged. And yeah, let's design some bloody lovely clothes. The sun is shining, summer is around the corner. We deserve some beautiful summer wardrobe designs. So I will see you here tomorrow, my friends. 3-day design challenge is kicking off. Peace and love. Have a wonderful start to your week.